Learning transfer is the effective and continuing application of knowledge, skills and new behaviour gained in training or through learning, which is applied to the job in different and often changing contexts. Transfer is the only reason to conduct learning in organisations. How much is your organisation spending on training? According to Training Magazine's 2015 industry report, which is one of the industry's most trusted sources of data, the annual training expenditure in the US is over $107 billion. These training expenditure figures are only taking account of direct costs. They're not taking into account cost of absence, replacement or lost opportunity. Those replying to the survey stated that the highest priorities for training in terms of allocating resources were 29% increasing effectiveness of the training programs, but also 16% in measuring the impact. With so much money being spent on training, why are we seeing so little impact on performance? We believe that there's a universal problem with millions of dollars, pounds and euros being wasted on training that never sees the return in performance. It's a lost opportunity, with 79 to 90% of all money invested in training not having the sought-for impact and ultimately being wasted. Our Learning Transfer Systems Inventory is based on over 15 years of research by Professor Ed Holton and his team. In the late 80s and 90s, there was quite a paradigm shift that began in the training world, and it still continues today. Focus moved away from just looking at learning outcomes to looking at performance outcomes that occurred after the learning had taken place. Through extensive reviews at that time, it became clear that there was a real lack of clarity around which factors were affecting learning transfer. What were the barriers? What were the catalysts, let alone a way to diagnose them within organisations? So Professor Ed Holton and his team decided that if they were to increase ROI from training investments, then we needed a way to transfer learning from the classroom or learning event into job performance. So they started to look at over 150 factors that affected learning transfer, and eventually, through 15 years of research, uncovered the 16 factors that are critical if learning is to be transferred from the classroom or learning event to the job. The 16 factors of the LTSI cover three main areas: ability, motivation and work environment. In essence, learning or training transfer becomes another job behaviour. In order for someone to do their job well, they need to have the right ability, they need to be motivated, and they need to be working in an environment that encourages and supports them to transfer their learning. The four factors that make up the ability category are content validity, transfer design, opportunity to use, and personal capacity. Does the course content reflect job requirements accurately? Has the course been designed for easy transfer to their jobs? Do participants have an opportunity to use their learning? And do they have the personal capacity, so the time, energy, and mental capacity to apply to their work? The motivation category is made up of transfer effort performance expectations, transfer performance outcomes expectations, learner readiness, motivation to transfer, and performance self-efficacy. Highly motivated learners believe that if effort is devoted to applying their learning, then this will lead to changes in job performance and the outcome will be valued. They're ready and excited about applying learning, and their belief is that they can impact job performance if they wish. The final 7 factors that influence learning transfer are in the work environment category: manager support, manager sanctions, peer support, performance coaching, personal outcomes, positive and negative, and resistance to change. Why are factors in the work environment so critical? If a trainee goes back to their work environment and attempts to apply what they've learnt but get no support from colleagues or their manager, and the culture generally blocks any new approach, transfer and adoption of new behaviours rarely gets embedded. People just revert back to old ways over time. We will take a more in-depth look at the LTSI factors and how they act as enablers or barriers to learning transfer in our next video.